Hello, welcome to another one of my little simplified Astro videos. Those of you that have been watching my channel, you'll know that I recently got the EFW3 filter wheel from Atik, and I mentioned in that video where I fitted it to my Atik 16200 camera that I wanted to use the Atik off-axis guider with my Atik OAG FSQ106, and I've taken delivery now of my Atik off-axis guider from First Light Optics, and I'm going to run through the fitting of this because whilst the fitting is relatively straightforward, it's the same for the EFW3 as it is for the EFW2 with the three screws that you have in the front face of the filter wheel. Where the problem comes is that I actually want to use this with a Lodestar X2 guide camera. Now the Atik off-axis guider, as you can see here, actually comes with T-rings. So it's actually a T-ring T2 size, but obviously the Lodestar is a C-mount. So we have a bit of a problem in that the C-mount won't go into the T2. Now with the off-axis guider from Atik, it comes with three different size spacers. These unscrew, so you can vary the different spacers to get your distance right between your pickup prism and the guide camera. The problem comes with the Lodestar that it's only got a 12.5mm back focus, which is, whilst it's not that big, it's actually quite large for a guide camera, because the guide cameras normally a quite a short back focus distance. But the problem being now, because it's C-mount and this is T2, I actually need to fit an adapter. Now First Light Optics do a very low profile adapter for this, which is T2 to C-mount. But the problem with that is being fixed, and with the helical focuser on the off-axis guider, it kind of limits me as to rotation of camera and so on. It's all very fixed. So the option that I've taken is to actually also from First Light Optics to get the Barda eyepiece holder. Now what this has got is this has a T2 screw thread which fixes onto the off-axis guider there, and then my Lodestar X2 camera just sits inside and then fixes. Now this itself has a helical focuser which I can fine-tune, but then it gives me the option to spin my camera, my guide camera, to the rotation that I want it. I think the Atik focus system is actually very good, because whilst it's helical, it actually doesn't rotate the camera. So in a way that's actually better than the Barda one. So what I intend to do is to lock the Barda one down, get my camera to somewhere near the distance it needs to be, because obviously the distance from my main CCD sensor to the pick-off prism has to be exactly the same as the distance between my pick-off prism and my guide camera sensor. That's how both of those come into focus at the same time. So long as I can measure that distance and then set my CCD sensor to somewhere near it, then I can use the little focusing ring on the Atik off-axis guider wheel to get the focus just right, and then lock it off with this little screw here. Then everything's nice and tight, nice and secure. And the nice thing with this is that I can actually change CCD cameras, because whilst I use the Atik 16200, which has got quite a large back focus distance, which I shouldn't have an issue at all achieving focus, if I happen to change that and put, for example, a ZWO CMOS camera, they have something like 6.5mm, so they're very, very tight. So I'm unlikely to achieve focus on my guide camera. So in that instance, I can just undo the screws, drop my camera all the way in, drop the focus screw right down, and probably, almost certainly, be able to achieve focus still. So I'll run through the process. I mean, the thing to look for on the Atik off-axis guider when you get it is that there's actually a right way and a wrong way to fit it. Now if you have a look, you'll see on here there's actually this section here is flat. If you look at the other side where the nose cone is, it's actually, I'll drop the nose cone off. If you look at the other side where the nose cone is, you see it's actually got a lip on it. So it's the flat side that I actually need to go to the filter wheel. Now when you look on the filter wheel, you'll see that there's 3 grub screws that are already in the filter wheel. These need to be taken out. So Atik do provide within the kit 2 Allen keys and the 3 screws for fixing the off-axis guider to the filter wheel, and also that there's 2 Allen keys, one being the one that I need to fix the off-axis guider to the wheel, and the other one being that there's a little tiny grub screw that sits in the side of the off-axis guider, and that adjusts the height of the pick-off prism. So you undo that, you can adjust the height of the pick-off prism and then do it up again. So I've taken these 3 grub screws out, so that just leaves 3 tapped holes, noting that it's the side that's flush that goes back towards the filter wheel. So I'm just going to drop one of the screws in the hole just so that I can get my first alignment on, and then being very careful not to get anywhere near your filters. Just run the first screw in, but don't do it up, just get it in the hole, and then put your second screw on the end of your Allen key. Again, just run it in the hole. Again, just get it in the thread, but don't do it up. And the third one, just drop it in the hole. And now with this one, you can actually do it up because all the holes are aligned. Then we'll go to each one in turn and just nip them up. With all stuff like this, you want to make sure that it's tight, but you don't want to make sure that it's ridiculously tight where you're running the risk of stripping threads and the like. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to be just finger tight, you know, really not ridiculously tight, but enough that it's stuff's not going to flex. And that is the off-axis guider fitted. I'm going to have this is an M54 sized nose piece that screws on, so if you've got a compression type fitting on the end of your OTA, and then that screws in there, and then you use your compression fitting. I have an M54 adapter in the end of my Takahashi, so that's going to be a screw fit straight into that, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to get this fitted, and once it's fitted I will do another video with this all on the mount and run in to see how it operates. So hopefully it's been another useful video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.